When we decrease, God can increase. When we do not decrease, we are saying to God that we are the increase, and He needs to decrease. But what is a crease? A crease and a fold are similar, but this is a fold. When you fold a piece of paper, it is folded in half, it is folded at an angle, whatever fold it is at, it is folded to that. A fold can become a crease through pressure and crushing. When you take a fold and begin to crush it with the hands, begin to score it, and begin to crease it through that scoring, it has now become a crease. What was once a fold is now a crease. And that creased place will never return back to its original state, because the very structures that were there originally have been completely transformed through the crushing and through the pressing that happened to it. So when we decrease, God is not just telling us to fold and to have an opportunity to spring back. He's not just telling us to, for this situation, for us to submit, but to submit our whole lives. He's getting us to a place of realizing that it's not just about being in the sheepfold, but it's about trusting Him with our whole lives and going through the process of being pressed, the press that He calls us to go through, the crushing that we do go through in this life, that is required of us to be His disciples and to walk this walk out. The crushing of the old ways of doing things and the dying to self. That is what decreasing looks like. And when we humble ourselves, when we truly trust God, we will go through the press and we will crease to His structure, to His position, to who He is, and humble ourselves, because we know when we decrease, He will increase. And the more we decrease, the more press we go through, the more crushing we go through, the more scoring we go through, the more God gets to increase in our lives and through our lives, to where we begin to experience God unfolding and experiencing a level of Him and a level of unfolding of who He is. The manifold wisdom of who He is begins to unfold in our lives, and we begin to see parts that we've never seen, experience Him in a way that we've never experienced. And the more we do it, the more we experience Him, and we get to see the length, the breadth, the depth, the height of His love through the experience of the pressing and the crushing, just as Christ did on the cross. Christ went to the cross, but right before He went to the Garden of Gethsemane, the Garden of the Olives, where crushing took place, where the crushing that happened would be sent down and trickled down and be poured out and collect the oil collected, blood sweats coming from His face. But He came to that place and recognized and realized and decreased to the point of saying, nevertheless, your will be done. It's not my will, but your will be done. Our will is always the less. Our will and our way is always the less. So when we decrease, when we experience decreasing and humbling ourselves, we get to experience a Gethsemane moment. And there's many moments every day where we get the opportunity to experience what our Savior experienced. And we get the opportunity to humble ourselves. And we should always remain in that place, in that decreased experience. So we must decrease so that He can increase in our lives. And through the decrease, we get to experience what Christ went through. And when we experience what He went through in the decrease, we get to also experience Him in the increase and be raised with Him to newness of life through us humbling ourselves. So when you bend down on your knees to pray, are you popping back up the same way? Or have you gone deeper as Christ did in Gethsemane? He went deeper into that place. He pressed past that place of comfort, went deeper when no one else was with Him. He didn't just hold under the pressure, but He decreased and pressed into that place and humbled Himself. So when you get on your knees and fold, are you getting up the same way that you got down and walking in the same direction that you did before? Or when you get on your knees, do you crease, do you press, do you go through a crushing of your fleshly nature and kill it and get up in a place where you experience God in a new way? Or are you staying in that same place and walking in the same direction that you always have? We must decrease so that He may increase. Choose today to decrease so that He may increase in your life. Go through the crushing, go through the release, go through the Gethsemane moment, and choose life. Choose His way, and choose the greater way, because nevertheless is your way, and always the greater is His way.